Hi, everyone. Glad to have you with us as always, and glad we've got another beautiful day in the neighborhood, weather-wise, that is, in store and on tap for tomorrow. After that, the warmer temperatures are going to continue into your Friday. We'll have to pay to play with some showers across the board, so to speak, and then just in time for your weekend. Snow worked its way into the forecast. Arctic air is coming, and we've got some more snow on the heels of that, possibly. We'll talk about it in more detail in just a few moments. On tonight's program, wrapping up coverage of the McGoffin County Fiscal Court meeting yesterday. Also, McGoffin County Board of Education coverage from last night's meeting. We'll begin that tonight. Some local and area and regional reports and why the execution of a serial killer is making local headlines this evening. And that's where we'll begin this 20th day of November with McGoffin County native and Hustler publisher Larry Flint, who was shot and paralyzed back in 1978. He was in court just a few days ago to object to the then upcoming execution in Missouri of a convicted serial killer that shot and paralyzed Flint and confessed to killing many others. Flint was in court objecting to his execution because he says he strongly opposes the death penalty and wanted white supremacist Joseph Paul Franklin, who's been convicted of killing 8 people from the late 70s through 1980 in racially motivated attacks, to rather spend the rest of his life in prison. The Union of Missouri filed papers on Flint's behalf in court last week to try to halt the execution of the man who confessed to shooting Flint in 1978 outside a Georgia courtroom where Flint was standing trial on obscenity charges. However, to no avail, serial killer Joseph Paul Franklin was executed this morning after the U.S. Supreme Court rejected his final request for a stay. The execution was scheduled for shortly after midnight last night, delayed for several hours due to the Court of Appeals. Franklin gave no final statement, refused his final meal before he was executed. He was put on death row for the 1977 murder of Gerald Gordon. Gordon was killed outside a synagogue in St. Louis. Franklin was blamed for at least 22 killings between 77 and 80. Targeting blacks and Jews, several of his victims were interracial couples, including other victims, such as 2 black children in Cincinnati, Ohio, a white 15-year-old prostitute that he became angered with for having sex with black men. Police later closed in on him after killing 2 young black men in Salt Lake City in August of 1980, some of his last known killings. He was arrested a month later here in Kentucky, but escaped and then was captured again by authorities about a month thereafter in the state of Florida. He targeted Larry Flint for a Hustler publication depicting interracial sex. This edition of the Paintsville Herald chronicles a Johnson County native, I believe, who had been living in the Barbersville area for an undetermined amount of time, who is awaiting formal sentencing after entering a formal plea of guilty to bank robbery charges. 23-year-old Jonathan Deaton pleaded guilty of second-degree robbery on Halloween in Cabell County Court. He robbed the Fifth Third Bank branch in Barbersville, West Virginia on December the 12th. Police say he came into the bank. That's December the 12th of 2012, mind you. Police say he had came into the bank on that date demanding $20,000 from an employee of the financial institution and made away with several thousands of dollars in cash. Police were able to use these video surveillance images from the bank to help make his arrest. He's also facing charges in regards to a burglary that took place in the Huntington area sometime prior. He broke into a home and was detained by that homeowner until police arrived. He's scheduled to be officially or formally sentenced in Cabell County on December the 13th. Also in Johnson County headlines, 34-year-old Joshua Fitzpatrick remains jailed in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center, indicted by Lawrence County grand jury just this past week on several counts, including murder, fleeing and evading police, driving under the influence, driving on a suspended license, and being a persistent felony offender. The indictment charges stemming from an incident on October the 4th that began in Johnson County and came to a tragic end in Lawrence County. 34-year-old Joshua Fitzpatrick of Paintsville was said to have been operating a stolen Toyota Camry that he had taken after being involved in a domestic violence dispute earlier in the day. Police came in contact with the vehicle and initiated a traffic stop, and he fled. It was later in Lawrence County that he failed to negotiate a curve at an intersection and then crossed into the path of a motorcycle being operated by a Catlettsburg man who he collided with, 40-year-old Johnny K. Maynard, who was pronounced dead at the scene from that collision. Also in that same series of indictments released by a Lawrence County grand jury, a Sagersville woman whose photograph we don't have, 37-year-old Jennifer Mitchell of Sagersville, was said to be indicted on charges of first-degree possession of a controlled substance and tampering with physical evidence, in addition to public intoxication. And court records indicate that a Johnson County woman has been sentenced to 20 years in prison. 51-year-old Eveline Childers of Hager Hill was one of those involved in Operation Spring Cleanup that I covered in Johnson County back in April, when the Johnson County Sheriff's Department, in concert with Operation Unite, rounded up several individuals. Childers, 51, of Hager Hill, was found guilty by a Johnson County jury on 3 counts of trafficking in oxycodone between a time period of August of 2012 to November of the same year. I'm also set to talk to Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Price about drug activity before the week's end. We'll have a follow-up report then. More news to follow these words. It's so new it doesn't even have a name, but it does have an amazing taste all its own. 4 pancakes, butter, syrup, plus your choice of any of our dozens of DQ toppings with a little whipped cream on top, and of course some of our world-famous DQ soft serve. And you can add bacon, sausage, or even a little country ham for a full-blown breakfast treat. Or sink your taste buds into a quarter or even half-pound grill burger fixed exactly like you like it. And you want to know the best part? James says you can have either one for breakfast as early as you want, but only at your Sagersville DQ.
Have a buck, get a truck. Now at Hutch Chevrolet, buy any new or pre-owned truck or car for $1. And get a shotgun or rifle just in time for deer season. If you got $1, get a truck. For example, 2013 Chevy Silverado was $37,000. Bucks and trucks price $25,990. Only at Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC in Paintsville, Kentucky.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Game time means wing time at Lee's, and that means it's time for you to try our new buffalo wings. I can't tell you our secret, but I can tell you they're marinated and then rolled in our famous, albeit a little spicy, crispy chicken batter and served up with any of our 7 delectable sauces. So get your hands on a meal or a box today at your Sagersville Lee's famous recipe, where no one does chicken like we do chicken. Bailey's Furniture has done it again. This beautiful queen-size sleigh bed, media center, and matching chest are only $295 each, whether you buy one or buy them all. And you can save $400 and get a second nightstand with this gorgeous Von Bassett group. Lazy Boy rocker recliners start at $295, and Catnapper lift chairs start at $689 at Bailey's Furniture and GE Appliance Center.
Let's do this. Can't believe my daughter wants to marry a Hatfield.
And I can't believe my son fell in love with a McCoy.
I got one thing to say. They're going to have the wireless plan with the best service.
And I say they're going to have the wireless plan with the biggest savings.
Daddy!
Hush up, Mary Beth.
Pa, stay out of this, Jonah.
We're done talking.
You got that right.
Better service.
Bigger savings.
Daddy, we've both got Appalachian Wireless. Better service.
Bigger savings.
That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
Tom Turkey here. Home Furniture's cooking up some sweet deals for the holidays. Buy a dining room suit and get 50% off the matching hutch. Buy a living room suit or sectional and get the matching chair or recliner 50% off. Buy any bedroom group and get a free mattress pad and sheet set. Plus, 0% interest for 3 years to qualified buyers. Make Thanksgiving a little tastier with your choice of a free ham or turkey with minimum purchase. Hurry into Home Furniture, Highlands Plaza, Prestonsburg.
With the county spending more than $6 million to blacktop maybe even hundreds of roads or parts thereof in McGoffin County this year and into next, roads were, as you can well imagine, a hot topic in yesterday's session of the McGoffin County Fiscal Court, where McGoffin County Judge Executive Charles Harden outlined how decisions are being made to blacktop which road.
I would like to discuss the blacktopping that I'm very proud that we've been doing and give you some examples of how we make that decision. We're going to do well over 150 roads. if I go to Frankfurt with that road list and ask for help for that many roads, they'll give me about 10 and tell me they really appreciate it, and I'll go home with a mile's worth of blacktop. Or I can go with the longer roads and get 5 miles, but they won't serve near the number of people that you would think, because we have roads that are a couple miles long, and they serve people, but they may not serve over 3 or 4 families. So I started looking at these small roads. We got one road in this county that 0.3 miles serves 9 families. 0.1 over on Lakeville serves 5. But most of the little roads serve 1, 2, and 3 families. Sometimes it comes up, well, why did you do that one road? There's only one family there. Well, first of all, someone needs to explain to me what the difference between 0.1 mile for one man and 0.3 mile for 3 people. What's the difference there? My math calculations, I'm never too good at math, but that kind of adds up the same thing to me. The second thing is, sometimes when people complain, I hate to tell you that I complained about one guy, some people did, and he's a school teacher, and he's taught our children, and he's paid his taxes, and if you ever drive by his house, it is beautiful. Well, it's beautiful all the time, but it's beautiful at Christmas. It's decorated. We ought to be proud of it. It's something that people drive through the community, and other people in other counties will mention that particular place. Because his is 0.1 and somebody with 1 residence and others 0.3 with 3. Why is he not supposed to get it? Is that the criteria? But we did not do one road that one of 2 criteria was not met. It was either on the state interactive road map or we found it in the minutes. Some roads are public right-of-ways, and the county attorney kind of swallows hard when we maintain those. He hadn't taken me to court about it yet, but I can't put blacktop on him because this is bonded money. It doesn't belong to the county. So therefore, I can't put it down county road. I can't put it on a public right-of-way. I can't legally do it. It either was on that road map or we found it in the fiscal court minutes that it had been adopted. That's the criteria we used. We asked the state, what happens if they do a road and it turns out that that road was taken out of the road system, but it's remained on the state map? I could see that happening. Or I could see there have been instances where we found when we went back and reviewed the fiscal court minutes that it actually on that road map was further than what they had adopted. The state says, and I feel comfortable that this is fair, that if it's on that state road map and we do it, we're doing what's legal. If the only roads I did were the roads that I could find in that downstairs in those minutes, well, I wouldn't need but 2 or 3 guys at the road department. But over the years, the state has said, that's accepted. We did that. That's the first 2 criteria we did. After that, I tried to be fair to Ronnie's district. I tried to be fair to Rooster's district. And I'm now trying this week to be fair to Buck's district. I didn't get everybody's road done. Some of them will be done in the spring. Some of them will be done the next time around by me or HB. One of us will be here. But that aside, I'm doing the best I can to do the little roads that will never be done if we don't do them now. And I make no apologies for any road I did. The only apologies I make for the ones I can't get to do because I don't have the time before winter comes or I don't have the resources.
More local news coming up in a moment. Right now, local announcements courtesy of McGoffin Farm Bureau and your local agent, Doug Green. Beginning with a birthday wish from a whole lot of friends and family. Happy birthday, a day belated. It came in late yesterday, Richard, so with our apologies, and a day after, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Richard P. Love of Royalton. First off, a reminder that our friends over at the Water into Wine Food Pantry will be giving out food boxes tomorrow. That, of course, is at the Lakefront Church of God, the old Middle Fork Elementary School, 8:30 till 4:30. And, of course, they'll be taking a break for lunch and to kind of regroup from noon till 1. So they want to let you know that that's when they're giving out food boxes, and a reminder to please bring your pantry card with you. And food boxes tomorrow also at our McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center, 12:30 tomorrow. And they say the distribution date is tomorrow. Please wait until 12:30 to come down to the center. They're going to serve lunch to the regular seniors before they start giving the food boxes out. First to do the food boxes for the people who ride the Senior Citizens bus. And don't forget your bags. And all boxes not picked up by 2:30. Then, of course, we'll go on to the folks on the waiting list. And I think that's it for a relatively brief community calendar tonight. Gives me time to remind you, this is how you get announcements just like these on the show for free. Simply mail them, phone them, fax them, email them. Ritt or Mortimer is on Facebook like everyone else in the country and world. And, of course, you can always drop it off here at the newsroom on East Maple Street, just 4 or 5 doors above the post office. Can't miss the big sign in front of the little brick house. Funeral service announcements for the local and viewing area, a courtesy of our friends at the McGoffin County Funeral Home and McGoffinCountyFuneralHome.com. Services tonight for Patricia Ann Akers McGuire, 69, of Route 30 in Sagersville, who passed away on Sunday's date at the Highlands Regional Medical Center. She was preceded to death by her husband, Graham McGuire, and in passing she leaves behind sons Davy Gregory, Mike Gregory, Rodney Gregory, and James Hall, and daughters Tabitha Reed and Robin Morgan. Funeral services for Patricia Ann McGuire are to be conducted Friday of this week at 11 a.m. from the Sagersville Funeral Home Chapel. The family will welcome friends Thursday after 5 o'clock and any time Friday prior to funeral services. They would also like me to announce that contributions can be made to the Patricia Ann McGuire Memorial Fund at the funeral home. And the Sagersville Funeral Home has notified us of the passing of 80-year-old Jesse Howard of Falcon, who passed away on Tuesday's date. In passing, he leaves behind sons Gregory Howard and William Bill Howard, Jesse Michael Howard as well. And a memorial service celebrating his life will be conducted Saturday at 1 from the Sagersville Funeral Home. Interment will follow in the family cemetery at Sagersville. The family will welcome friends Saturday afternoon and prior to those services.
Hi, I'm Don McFarland. I'm an attorney in Sayersville, Kentucky. I'm here to serve you and meet your legal needs. If your family or loved ones get in trouble, or if trouble comes to your door, then it's always good to have a friendly face that you can call on. So please, give me a call. I've been here my entire life. I was born here. I was raised here. I grew up here. I have a family here. I've been practicing law here in Sayersville since 1994. So when you have times of trouble and times of pain, then pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne. 349-9000.
They've got muck boots for the hills and the mud, work boots for on and off the job, like the newest and maybe most comfortable, hardest working Red Wing ever. They've got Western boots for kicking up your heels and a whole new store full of the newest styles from all the famous makers you love, like Wrangler, Carhartt, Ariat, Miss Me, Leathers by Scully, and more at the brand spanking new Red's Boot Barn in Sayersville. From time and money saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Sayersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Sayersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time. It's a time to cherish and a time to remember the reason, to pause and relish in the joy and spread the spirit of the Christmas season. And it's all best done with a holiday stop at the Seasonal Shop, where they're having their annual open house Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 14th through the 16th, 9 to 6 every day. They'll be serving hot and cold holiday refreshments. You can take at least 20% off the entire store, up to 70% off select merchandise, and an extra 20% off all clearance items. A free gift with every purchase, and be sure to register for one of the great door prizes. The annual Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop Christmas Open House, the 14th, 15th, and 16th in downtown Sayersville. The
2014 Terexes are in with a newly redesigned 800cc power plant and a new 2-seat configuration. And the XP1000 is on the ground, 107 horsepower and a world-class suspension, plus Polaris financing as low as 2.99%, 5.99 for up to 72 months. But it's only good till the end of the year at Conley's, Kawasaki, and Polaris of Paintsville.
Tom Turkey here. Home Furniture's cooking up some sweet deals for the holidays. Buy a dining room suit and get 50% off the matching hutch. Buy a living room suit or sectional and get the matching chair or recliner 50% off. Buy any bedroom group and get a free mattress pad and sheet set. Plus, 0% interest for 3 years to qualified buyers. Make Thanksgiving a little tastier with your choice of a free ham or turkey with minimum purchase. Hurry into Home Furniture, Highlands Plaza, Prestonsburg.
I've already on a couple of occasions outlined how Magoffin County and surrounding school districts did on the second year of K-Prep testing. That was addressed last night. Specifically, principals from all Magoffin County schools addressed the Magoffin County Board of Education about what their plans are to do and what their goals are now to meet continued targets and goals. Superintendent of Schools Stanley Holbrook, as I told you in our last report on the issue, addressed the Magoffin County Board of Education at a prior date, saying that all schools had basically met their targeted goals this time around, but they still had a long way to go and weren't quite where they wanted to be. We'll begin with a principal tonight and cover as many as we can before the end of the week, getting to each and all 5 of them, beginning with high school principal Tony Skaggs, who addressed the Magoffin County Board of Education and those in the audience about what the school has been doing and has continued focus on.
The way testing's done at the high school level is totally different than the elementary. I know from last presentation we did last year, you guys know we do inter-course assessments, ACT is a big part of it, and so on. In the box above, you can see from 2011-12 to 2012-13 our scores, and I'm not going to read those to you. Those are what we are basically graded on. When you get down to the one that we did go down in growth, and we're working on that, and some of the things we're doing, I've listed for you at the bottom. The big push in high schools is college or career ready. Okay, that's a big push. Not they have to be both, they got to be at least one of them. Of course, with the Career Tech Center, we push that career ready part there. We track all the seniors, you can see through the assessment data to see if they're college and career ready. We did go up in that area this year a little bit. What you need, the total there is what Carl J and I talked about earlier. We went from 43 to 49. We made a 6-point gain. We expect at least that or more next year. Some things we're doing to increase that, working on achievement gap, is that we're doing benchmark assessments throughout the year in the courses that we have the end of course assessments in: biology, English 2, Algebra 2, and U.S. history. The worst of the 4 for the last couple of years has been U.S. history for some reason. But we've already done our first benchmark in that, and I'm happy to say we went from 60% being novice to 4th. So we made a 20% gain already in benchmarks, and we'll do more of those as the year goes. Growth, we've added the new Win Learning software. Like I said, ACT is a big part of high school. So we're working that with English, reading, and math. All our juniors are working on that at their own pace, preparing for the ACT test that are coming up. As far as college career readiness, in addition to tracking the students that we do, we have RTI periods now. We've been able to free up a couple of teachers in math and reading and English to work with kids. The good thing about that is a lot of our kids are volunteering themselves, and teachers are allowing them to go to those teachers to get extra help during those periods. And some of them are recommended, so they are getting extra help to get them college and career ready. I went into several classes so far and seen those kids on their own, 15 to 20 at a time, with a teacher in the middle and them in a circle. And it's really good to see. They're also, the seniors are using the Win Learning. They use it twice a week. We're also going to have work keys exam next year, which is really going to help us get kids from the Career Tech Center career ready. And that's our goal, is to have really good ACT scores and to have those kids leave the high school career and college ready, or college ready.
Up next was middle school principal Johnny Johnson. We'll get to he and then the others beginning on tomorrow's program. And I'll be getting to a whole lot of other news that's kind of getting piled up, but more news is better than less news, as long as it's good news. Good news is hard to find. Okay, with all that out of the way, here's your forecast. Your Licking Valley RACC forecast has a tweak or two. Perhaps the most significant change
is in lieu of tomorrow's forecast. We'll get to that in a second. 25 for the low this morning, topped out at 64 today, a low of 31 under partly cloudy skies tonight. Just a nice, calm Wednesday evening. Calm before the storm. You can kind of say that. Tomorrow is Thursday, and we're going to see partly sunny skies. My apologies, the big changes in Friday's forecast. Tomorrow is still looking great. 59, sunny. I look for similar conditions as today. Mostly cloudy by tomorrow night as clouds will start to roll in. Late tomorrow night will be our first taste of some precipitation, at least a chance. Right now it's slight, 20% or so. Thursday is not the big change. Friday is. Where yesterday I was telling you showers look likely late. Now they look likely early. That slight chance of some showers late Thursday night is leading into a really good shot, and showers likely mainly after 11 o'clock on your Friday for us. But we're still pretty mild, 61 for your daytime high and 42 for your low. Temperatures are holding steady, and that's a good thing because you're going to want to take advantage of it, even if it's raining as much as possible, because the bottom's still going to fall out of things over the course of the weekend. It all begins Friday with a nighttime low of 22, and we'll only see 45 for the high. Mostly cloudy skies and a 40% chance of showers. And yes, that's rain and or snow. And check it out. We won't see any precipitation on your Sunday, but we won't see any warm air either. 33, 19, your high and low. Sunny, clear, and cold across the board on your Sunday, and more sunshine on your Monday, even though I've got a chance of rain or showers in there. That's not till Monday night, and it is rain and or snow showers. We'll see sunshine and cold temperatures on your Monday, but by Monday night, another round of precipitation. One way or the other, rain and or snow, and we've got that existing chance Monday night, Tuesday night, into your Wednesday. Not a big chance, but it's a chance, and that's all you got to have around here. Folks, I think we're getting set up for much more to come. The winter season will be on us before you know it officially, and we're already getting a taste of it, well, in some regards, a bit early. I think getting out those boots and gloves and hats and scarves might be a good idea. It's always a great idea to join us when you can. I hope that's every weeknight, and we'll be back here for another one tomorrow for more of Your News Today. Good night, and thanks for watching.